Namaste all the students from 10th standard. Refraction of light. Now in this lecture we are going to learn new concept. Before that, observe the given pictures. What is your observation? The pictures are related with mirage. You know what is the meaning of mirage? Mirage is the illusion of appearance of water on hot road or in a desert. You know, in a desert conditions, desert places, or on hot roads, how these mirages happen. The light rays coming from distant object appear to be coming from image of the object inside the ground, and this is called as mirage. Now why this appearance of the image or in revert image inside the ground? Why this appearance? Because of the local conditions. The refraction is depends on the local atmospheric conditions like motion of atmospheric air, changing air density. Density of air is changing continuously with the temperature, or air is moving here and there. So motion of air is also important, and temperature at that atmosphere or at that place is also important. So these are the factors which are affecting the refraction of light. So whenever the air near the hot roads or desert surface is becomes hot, the air at that place becomes rarer than air above it. Because as we go above the surface of the earth, the density of air is becomes more dense. So that's why the refractive index keeps increasing as we go to increasing height. Direction of light rays coming from distant object. See the figure 3rd here. In the 3rd figure, the rays coming from this object like tree keep changing its route or keep changing because of the changing in refractive index of air. So the path of the light rays becomes curved here, and because of this we feel like these rays are or apparent rays are coming from the inside of the road or inside of the earth's surface or inside of the ground. That's why we observe the image of the object inside the ground or revert image of the object inside the ground. That is called as mirage. Okay.
As we observe the image of any object in water, here also we observe the image of any object on the road or desert.
Now next, observe this picture or holy fire is here. When objects are standing near the holy fire or object which are above the holy fire, what do your observation about that object? Yes, definitely. We feel that these objects are shaking here and there because of the local conditions. We know that reflection of light gets changing with the changing in the atmospheric conditions. Which are that atmospheric conditions? Motion of atmospheric air, or changing the density of air, or changing in the temperature. You know that a hot fire, a holy fire, because of the holy fire, air around that holy fire is becomes hot. The temperature of air get increased, and because of the hot temperature, the air around the holy fire becomes rarer and rarer, and hence there is the difference between refraction of air near the fire and refraction of air long away from the fire. So that's why the light rays coming from object keep changing its path. You know that the holy fire is sometime very strength and sometime it is not very strength. So density, temperature of that holy fire becomes less or more. So as the temperature of holy fire becomes less or more, the path of the light rays get changing, and therefore we have also feel the changing in the refraction. This object is appearing to be moving here and there. So we are observing shaking image of the object which are above and below the holy fire. Okay, next. Now here observe the motion here. Why do stars twinkle? Observe these two images, observe these two figures. Suppose we are standing on earth and looking at the sky. We are observing twinkling of stars. Why? Let us understand why this happens. You know that stars are self-luminous. They have its own light. They appears to be a point source because they are at large distances from us. So they are like a spot or like a point. We have the point image of that stars. The density of air increases with lowering height above the surface of the earth. As we go the surface of the earth, as we go above the surface of the earth, what happens? We know that air becomes rarer and rarer. So as we lowering the heights means as we reaching towards the earth's surface, what happens? The air becomes more denser and denser, and because of the air becomes becoming more denser and denser means light rays from the stars entering more and more denser medium, and because of that its refractive index also get increasing as we lowering the height. Okay, the direction of light rays coming from distant stars. So this is a distant star and it is like a point, and its rays coming from the long distance stars travels from rarer to denser medium. You know that the medium around the earth is denser and air is becomes rarer and rarer from long distances. Therefore the light rays coming from stars is entering to denser and denser medium, rarer to denser medium, and therefore they are keep bending towards the normal. They are bending towards the normal. Therefore stars appear to be at the height than actual position, and we have feeling that the apparent position of stars as the above of its original position or actual of its original position. The local conditions of atmosphere like motion of atmospheric air, changing air density or temperature affects the refraction of light. The position and brightness of stars also keep changing continuously. Because of the motion of the atmospheric air, changing in the density of the air and temperature, the position of stars. Now here is the position of stars, and we have observing its apparent position above the original height or original star. So its position gets changing. Also the brightness coming from that star, it is also get changing continuously because of the aerical motion or changing in the density or changing in the temperature. Thus we are appearing the star to be twinkling in the sky. Okay, now next, now observe this diagram. Stars which are more distant from us than any planet, they are appearing to be twinkling, but planets are not appearing to be twinkling. Why? Let us understand why planets do not twinkle. Planets are not self-luminous. You know that they do not have their own light. They cannot produce their own light. They are not self-luminous. Also, the distance from Earth to the planet, the distance of planet to the Earth is less than the distance of star from Earth. So, planets are much closer. Planets are much closer than stars from Earth. They have less distance from Earth. So, they are not feeling like a spot, or its image is not like a spot, but it is the collection of points. Its image of planet is like a set of points, its collection of points. So density of air increasing at lowering or the height of the surface of the earth. So here is the earth's surface, and as we come or as we lowering the height from a stars to earth or planet to earth, you know that density of air is get increasing, means refractive index also get increasing. That's why the light rays coming from the planet, light rays coming from the planets are bent towards the normal, bent towards the normal. Therefore, planets are appearing to be higher position than its actual position. So, planets are also appearing at higher position than actual position. Also, local conditions like motion of air, then changing in the density, changing in the temperature also affects the refraction of light. So therefore, position and brightness of the planet. Now, position of planet and brightness of the planet also get changing continuously. But as planet is a collection of points and it is not like a point, the change in the position of each point is negligible. So we cannot feel the change in the position as it is a collection of points. Also, brightness of each point is continuously changing, but as average effect we not feel that its brightness is changing continuously. We feel like that the average position of this planet is planet is unchanged and brightness also remains unchanged. Therefore, we not observe that the planets will to be twinkling. Thus, thus the planet do not appear to be twinkling in the sky. Okay. Now observe this. Here in the picture, the actual position of sun, which is a long distance or far distance from Earth's surface, and as sun is a star, it is luminous, and you know that light and heat is provided by sun on the Earth's surface. But as sun is far distances or distant object from the Earth's surface, the rays coming from sun is traveling through rarer to denser medium. Air is becomes rarer at sun, and so light rays coming from sun is traveling through rarer to denser medium, and because of the rarer to denser medium, its path is get bending and it bends towards the normal as the refractive index get increasing. So we are feeling that the position of planet or position of sun is much above its original position. So when sun when there is a sunrise, at the sunrise what happens? Actually the sun is not above the horizon, it's horizon, and sun is not above the horizon, but we are appearing it as above the horizon, because the light rays coming from the sun, it get bending, because it is traveling through rarer to denser medium. But when sun is somewhat below the horizon, its light rays are able to reach the curved path. Because of this curved path, the light rays coming from the sun is reached on the earth's surface. Thus we see the sun even before it emerges above the horizon. Now here observe that sun is not coming up to the horizon, but we are feeling, or we are appearing that sun is much more than horizon, much above than the horizon, because of the changing in the refractive index. Same way at the sunset, what happens at the sunset? At sunset also we mean appearance of sun below the horizon. When there is a sunset, the sun is below the horizon. As we keep seeing sun for a short while, even after it goes below the horizon. When sun is below the horizon, at that time also we can observe it above the original horizon. We keep seeing sun from a short while even after it goes below the horizon. Now next, dispersion of light. You know the dispersion of light. The process of separation of light into its component colors that Roy G. Bew, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. These are the 7 components colors of the light. So when light is separated into its component color while it is passing through a medium which is a denser medium, it is called as dispersion of light. Let us observe this diagram, and light rays or white sunlight is coming towards the prism, and when it passing through that prism which is a opaque medium, its path is get changed, and each component color is deflected with a different angle. So red is less deflected and violet is more deflected. Violet color is deflected more here. You know that light is electromagnetic radiations. Light is coming towards us through a electromagnetic radiations, and these electromagnetic radiations are measured with wavelengths. So wavelength is an important property of radiation. Wavelength of radiations to which our eyes are sensitive is between 400 to 700 nanometers. Now you know the relation of nanometer to meter. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to negative 9 meter. So wavelength of radiation that we can see, that we can feel, is between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer. In this interval, radiations of different wavelengths are appearing to be different colors mentioned above. So every radiation with different wavelength is like a different color, or it appears like different color by us. So red light is having maximum wavelength. It is nearly 700 nanometer, and violet light have smallest wavelength, it is close to be 400 nanometer. So these light components have different wavelengths, and therefore different wavelengths of these different wavelengths of different components of the light, that is different colors of the light, is deflected differently throughout this prism, and we have feeling spectrum like condition there. In vacuum, what happens? You know that vacuum is more and more rare or zero particle position, and therefore each light component cannot deflected with different frequencies. So all the frequencies or light rays of all frequencies have same deflection in vacuum. But in air what happens, or but in denser medium what happens? But velocity of light in other medium depends on the frequency of the light, and we know that each component of light have different frequency, and thus they are having different colors when they travels through a denser medium. So each component of light have different velocity in different medium or in denser medium. Therefore the refractive index of medium is different for different colors. So refractive index of red color is different, refractive index of orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet are different. So they have deflected differently. The angle of deflection is also different of for each color, and therefore we are feeling like a spectrum of these Roy G. Biv colors. So air, while light coming from the sun, so when the white light is coming from sun through air enters the refractive medium or denser medium, it's emerging as a spectrum of 7 colors. So the light or white light gives 7 color spectrum because of the velocity of each component of light is different in this denser medium. Sir Isaac Newton was the first scientist to use this glass prism to obtain sun spectrum. Okay, firstly Newton have used this glass prism to observe the sun spectrum. While light is incident on the prism, when light is incidence on this prism or the surface on this prism, different colors bends through different angles. Red is bending less and violet is bending more. So violet is bending towards normal more and red is bending less towards the normal. Among the 7 colors, red bends least and violet bends most. Now observe these two diagrams. Here a single prism is used to observe the spectrum of 7 colors. But in next diagram we observing that 2 prisms are used so that the effect of the spectrum can be minimized and original white light can be observed on the screen. Here first prism is used to get spectrum, or first prism is worked to use the spectrum of 7 color light, and second prism works to minimize the effect of spectrum and the light becomes white again. So recombination of these 2 prisms can minimize the spectrum of light or spectrum of 7 color light. Now let us observe this diagram and let us understand what is the meaning of partial and total internal reflection. Partial and total internal reflection. So for that, here are two mediums are used. Here is the medium air and here is the medium water. Which is the denser medium? Very good. Water is the more denser medium than air. So air have the refractive index of air as compared to water is less. Or refractive index of water is water as compared to air is more. So when the light source from water, when we keep the light source in water medium, the rays coming from that light source at different directions. So what happens if we observe this light ray? So light ray coming from this light source is reached towards the surface of the water, and what happens at this position? At this position, this light ray is entering the position where medium is get changing, and medium is get changing denser to rarer. At that point, what happens? The light ray is partially reflected inside the water surface and partially refracted. It is refracted in another medium like medium of air. So partially reflection and partially refraction here. So here another ray coming from light source is like this, and here also what happens? It happens that ray of light coming from light sources is partially reflected and partially refracted. You know that by the Snell's law, as the angle I increases, R also increases. As the I increases, here I is more than angle of incidence is more than here angle of incidence. So as we are observing here another light ray, here also I is becomes more. So light ray is becoming angle of incidence is becoming more and more, and R also becoming more and more. At the specific position of I, what happens? I is increasing to extent, and so that R becomes 90-degree in measure. As R is get increasing here, R is becomes now 90-degree, and at that position the incident angle is called as critical angle. Let us understand whole, partial and total internal reflection. Okay, actually partial reflection and total reflection. When light enters the rarer medium from a denser medium, now here water is denser medium and air is rarer medium, and light is coming from denser to rarer. So when light is coming from denser to rarer medium, what happens? It's get partially reflected. Here partial reflection is observing. Partial reflection, it is not total, because some rays are, or some part of the ray is get refracted and some part of the ray get reflected. So partial reflection there. So partially that light rays are get reflected and part of the light ray get refracted and comes back into denser medium again. So reflected light ray is coming again into the denser medium, and some part is get refracted into another medium. This is called as partial reflection. As light coming from denser to rarer, here light is coming from denser to rarer, it is bent towards, or it is bent away. So it is entering to rarer medium, so it is bending away from the normal. Get that point? It is bending away from the normal. So when I is get increasing, then R also get increasing. So when I is smaller, R is smaller. When I is greater, R is also greater. Because the light rays are refracted away from the normal as the rays are coming from denser to rarer medium. As we increasing I, R also get increasing according to the Snell's law, because sine of I upon sine of R is constant. So for a particular value of I, what happens? At the particular value of I, R becomes greater and reach up to 90 degree. So as I becomes R becomes greater and it reach towards 90 degree, the ray of light does not refracted in another medium. It is refracted, it is reflected at the surface of the water. So this angle, which is incident angle, when R is becomes 90 degree, this I or angle of incident is called as critical angle. So for particular value of I, the value of R becomes 90 degree, and this value of I is called as critical angle. For angle of incidence larger than critical angles, what happens? When angle of incidence is larger than critical angle, R is also greater than 90 degree. And thus we can easily understand that this light ray is totally internally reflected, or it comes again into the dense source or dense medium. So here we observe that the ray of light is not partially reflected or partially refracted. It is totally internal reflection we observe there. So total internal reflection is observing here. Angle of incidence larger than critical angle, then angle of refraction is also larger than 90 degree. Such a ray returns to denser medium as shown in the figure. Thus all light get refracted. All light gets reflected into back into the dense medium. So this is called as total internal reflection. For angle I, which is the critical angle, R is equal to 90 degree, and we know that refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium is equal to sine I upon sine R. So sine I upon sine R, which is 90 degree, therefore sine R is equal to sine 90 degree, and therefore refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium, it is equal to sine I upon sine 90 degree. You know that sine 90 degree is equal to 1, therefore refractive index of first medium with respect to second medium is equal to sine I, and this is the important formula for calculating the critical angle or measuring the critical angle of given medium. Okay, now observe this diagram. This diagram is related with rainbow. Now observe that here is the sun, and light rays coming from the sun is entering towards this water drop. It is water droplet actually, and light rays or sunlight rays are coming from long distances or from sun, and when it is reaching here, means rarer to denser medium, what happens here? So three phenomena are important here: refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection. It can seen there mainly after rainfall opposite side of sun. When there is a rainfall and we are observing this rainfall opposite side of the sun, we can see this rainbow at when there is a rainfall and we are standing at opposite side of the, we are observing. We can see this rainbow opposite to the sunlight. Remember that we actually observing this rainbow opposite to the sunlight, and whenever there is a rainfall in the opposite of the sunlight, we observe this rainbow. What happens when there is raining and we are raining? What happens actually when we observe this rainbow? Small droplet of water, this is a small droplet of water, acts as a small prism, and this small prism, the light rays get dispersed into the spectrum of 7 colors. When light rays coming from sun enters this droplet, get refracted and dispersed. This light ray get refracted and dispersed. Then there is total reflection. Here is we observe the total reflection of the spectrum of light rays, and it get reflected, and here when it coming from denser medium to rarer medium, we observe their refraction. All these three processes together produces a rainbow.